So, dear students, today we will study about the same continuity, and that is about a signum function. Also about greatest integer function. Greatest integer function. Let f is a function from real number to real number, such that fx equals to box of x. Fx equals to box of x, that is greatest integer function, is called greatest integer function. Greatest integer function and is defined as box of x equals to n, where x lies between n and n plus 1, where n is an integer. N is an integer. So, how to define it? Look at it. Suppose I have 2.01. For that you should have a number line. This is suppose minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So 2.01 is a number here. 2.01. This will be an integer. This will be an integer which cannot be bigger than this. Which cannot be bigger than this means this lies between 2 and 3. If I take 3 for this, that will be wrong because 3 is bigger than this value. So obviously this value will be 2. If I write minus 0.4, minus 0.4, notice here what you are doing. Minus 0.4, it is somewhere here. So minus 0.4, this is bigger value, this is smaller value. So this will be minus 1. If I take 2 point, or you take 1.5, 1.5 is here. 1.5 is here. So 1.5 is there means this value will be equal to which one? If I take 2 is bigger, so it will be 1. And if it is an integer, will remain an integer. Okay, these are the examples you have taken for this greatest integer function. But when you discuss about limiting of the function, you try to understand here. When you write limit x tends to 2 minus box of x, see how you are going to calculate. That is limit h tends to 0, this is 2 minus h. So h tends to 0 means h is a very small number. Suppose h equals to 0.01. Say h equals to 0.01. So what will you get? That will be limit h tends to 0, or h value you put now. That will become 2 minus 0.01. That will give you 1.99. Now 1.99 is where? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, here is 1.99. The smallest will be how much? This one. I have taken left hand limit, look at here. The smaller value will be 1. This value is 1. So we can guess here, when you take left hand limit, the result is limiting value minus 1, so result is 1. If I take x is limit x tends to 2 plus box of x, greatest integer function x, so you will find that is limit h tends to 0, 2 plus h, 2 plus h, so 2 plus h means suppose h equals to 0.01, that means it is limit h tends to 0, 2 plus 0.01, 2 plus 0.01, that is 2.01. What is 2.01? Now 1, 2, 3, 2.01. 2.01 is a number between 2 and 3. So this value will be equal to how much? Not 2. So in the right hand limit you are getting the same value. In the left hand limit you are getting a value which is 1 smaller. Okay. Now let's take a question. Question is, discuss the continuity of the function f(x) equals to x minus greatest integer function x, where for any integral value of x, for any integral value of x. That means, so for a particular point it is asked, it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be minus 1. So what we'll do is, we'll take here, let x equals to c, where f(x) is continuous or not, means any particular value I have taken here, that is c. So I will write here, what is my left hand limit? Limit x tends to c minus f(x), limit x tends to c minus, so that will be limit x tends to c minus, and the value is x minus box of x, x minus box of x. So what I get? That is limit h tends to 0, x will be c minus h, but this is box of c minus h. So when you put, I told you the left hand limit, the value is whatever the limit minus 1. So this will be c minus 0, but this will be c minus 1. Already I have told you, when you are checking limit x tends to 2 of x, that was coming 1. Check, I have taken like that. How it was coming? Same thing here. So that will be c minus c plus 1, which is 1. So this is our left hand limit. Now let's see what is our right hand limit. Right hand limit. So right hand limit x tends to c plus x minus box of x, that is limit h tends to 0. This is c plus x minus box of c plus x. So in the right hand limit, as I have told you, this is not in the greatest integer function form c plus 0, but this will be c only. The right hand limit you can check, I have taken there, limit x tends to 2, box of x was 2, 2 means same value, so here is the same value here. So c is cancelled, the value is 0. So therefore, our left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. Left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. Implies fx is discontinuous. Discontinuous for any integral value. Okay, this was about our, we have discussed already greatest integer function, we have discussed about a modulus function. Now there is a special question based on this, whose method will be different. Discuss the continuity. Discuss the continuity of the function fx equals to x square, fx equals to x square sine 1 by x, where x is not equal to 0 and it is 0 if x is 0. Okay, so try to prove this in a different method. So what will be our solution here? Now fx sin theta lies between plus 1 and minus 1. Sin theta lies between plus 1 and minus 1. So in place of sin theta we have sin 1 upon x. So I can write minus 1, that is sin 1 upon x less than equal to 1. Sin x lies between minus 1 and plus 1. Now what you need is, you need x square. X square means multiply x square everywhere. Implies minus x square less than equal to x square sin 1 upon x less than equal to x square. So multiplying x square to all, then you are getting limit x tends to 0 minus x square, limit x tends to 0 x square sin 1 upon x less than equal to x square. So this implies 0 less than equal to limit x tends to 0. This is our fx. If a function is greater than 0, if a function is smaller than 0, then this implies the function itself will be 0. The limit x tends to 0, fx equals to 0. So limiting value you got 0. Now what is your functional value given? F of 0 when x equal to 0 is given you 0. Therefore limit x tends to 0 fx equals to f0. Therefore fx is continuous at x equals to 0. Okay, so these are the questions. The last question based on this continuity will be discussing composite functions. That is g of h. This we have studied in relation function. So when I go back to that chapter again, I'll discuss in detail. Is same as g of hx. Okay. Suppose you get a question, what does it mean? Try to see. Suppose you write so that fx equals to sin x square is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. So how to prove it? This is a continuous function. Okay, so look at here. Your fx equals to sin x square. There are two functions here. One is x square, otherwise sin of that. Suppose hx equals to, I'll break into two composite functions. Is suppose x square and gx equals to sin x. So look at here, such that fx equals to g of hx. So now x square hx equals to x square, hx equals to x square is a continuous function. It is a continuous function because this is a polynomial of degree 2. This is a curve. Being a polynomial function. Being a polynomial function. Similarly, gx are taken as sin x. Sin x is also a continuous function. Is also a continuous function. Now implies so h of g of hx, that is g of hx. Put the value of hx, what will you get? X square, that is g of x square. What g is making? Sine of the angle. Look at how we have defined gx, sin x. If gx is sin x, gx square will be sin x square. That is sin x square. Implies fx equals to g of hx. Since we have discussed hx is continuous, gx is continuous, so fx is also continuous. Is a continuous function. So these are the questions about composite functions. Let's take one more question. Prove that fx equals to cos x mod x is a continuous function. So we break it into two parts. One is modulus of x, one is fx is cos x modulus. Let's define g of hx. So which one will be our hx, which one will be gx? So hx you take cos x, gx you take modulus of x. G of x will be modulus of x, hx you have taken as cos x. Now this is continuous. You can write here hx is continuous because cos x is a continuous graph. Cos x is a continuous graph. Gx, which is mod x, is also a continuous graph. That means both are continuous. So now what will be g of hx? That is g of hx. What is hx for x? The cos x. That is g of cos x. Because hx is cos x. What is gx doing? Whatever the value is there is making it modulus. That means that will be modulus of cos x. Modulus of cos x. So this implies fx is cos x modulus, which is equal to g of hx. Since this is continuous, already we have proved, because hx is continuous, gx is continuous, that gives you fx is continuous. Continuous function. So with this we are concluding this chapter. If I have any doubt, please WhatsApp me in my WhatsApp number. Tomorrow we will start a very interesting article, that is differentiability.